Seriously, man, why do I not feel bothered? I don't know what it is. Since Saturday, obviously, I've had a couple of days to think about it. I didn't particularly want to upload something straight away because I wanted to try and get my thoughts together. But the minute I saw Sunderland relegated from the Premier League, I was gutted, angry, all that cliched emotions everyone else is feeling. But as time goes on, I'm just a bit like, okay, you know. And that's the sad thing, because I shouldn't be feeling that way. I should be angry, pissed off, really demanding answers, gutted and everything. But I'm not. And I think I've finally figured out that the reason I'm not is because, this is all I've known us do since I got into football in 2011. And I want something different, need something different. I can't take another season of this. And that's exactly what next season would have been had we stayed up. So to me, it's a challenge. We need a fresh challenge. We need something different. It's a new start. Hopefully, a successful season in the Championship next year. We should be aiming for at least top 6, if not top 2, really. We haven't got a divine right to come back up. We don't have a divine right to be in the Premier League. But I feel like when clubs, that have been in the Premier League less time than us, have come up and established themselves, in less time, I feel like by the time this is our 10th year in the Premier League in a row, we shouldn't be in relegation battles. We should be much better. We should be in a higher position than this. Now, of course, we're not, so we're down. But, and now we've got to go down and we're going to have to sort the debt out as well. You've got to have a whole host of players that are going. You've got probably, is it 6 players? I don't know why I've got that. Okay. 6 players out of contract. You've got 3 loanee players going back. You've got about 4 or 5 players who would probably go. Too much to sort out, and that's why I don't think we'd come straight back up. Let's touch on Moyes. I'm not as Moyes out as a lot of people are at the minute. I'm still slightly in favour of Moyes in, but I'm growing ever closer and closer to not really wanting him to stay. I'm prepared to give him the summer and the start of next season. And when I say start of next season, I don't mean 3 games, then demand him out. I mean like after 10 or so games, see what happens, and we'll go from there. But the club have got to get it right this summer. They've got to get the transfers in. They've got to get some proper money for the players they're going to sell. They've got to get the players that will help us get out of the Championship at the first attempt, hopefully. And then we'll see what happens with Moyes. Some of Moyes' tactical decisions this season and the whole Wahbi Khazri thing has been a farce and embarrassment in my opinion. So Moyes has to take some of the blame. But to me, player responsibility is crucial, and that's never highlighted enough in the game in my opinion. Everything's down to the manager. And just because the players aren't motivated by Moyes, that apparently it's okay for them to down tools in some games that they have done. Nah, don't buy that for 1 minute. Moyes has to take some of the blame, but the players are equally as deserving of it in my opinion. If they need any motivation, not that they should, but if they needed any motivation, Bradley Lowry. Enough said. Martin Bain, I've not really seen enough of generally to say he's been a failure, but I do like what I've seen of him. And this is a job, he's been given the job of restructuring the club basically. So we're going to have to give him, for me, like next season. See what we're like in a couple of years' time before properly judging Martin Bain. But I like what I've seen of him so far. He's gotten a good few football, non-football people out the door, and I think that's a good thing because we need to focus on being a football club first. Business side and financial side, very, very important. I can't underestimate that. But the problem we've had is that we're just looked at as a business, not as a football club. Ellis Short's the big one because we need clarity on his position. What's he going to come out? He's came out and given this cliched statement and everything, but he hasn't really come out and said anything that's honest. We need to hear some proper honesty from him. What's he going to try and do in terms of selling the club? Is the owner that we're going to sell to going to be right? Is there any progress there? What's he going to do in terms of trying to get the club back in the Premier League? So, we need some clarity there. Safe to say, guys, a big summer's needed. But like I said, I wasn't that bothered. I wasn't that bothered about the fact we've gone down. I need something different. And as the saddest part of all of this, I didn't really feel very much at the weekend. I didn't feel that much. So, look, guys, I'll leave the video there. Like I'm just like flat at the moment. I'm still going to do probably videos of the last few games, but more than anything now, I would probably just play players we plan to sell, and it looks like Moyes is probably doing that with Khazri. So, pardon me, if you play players that we're going to sell, then at least give their price up a bit. I'm playing for pride now, basically. So, anyway, guys. Lovies and leavies there. Sunderland are down. That's it. So, anyway, guys, see you all later. And hopefully with us in Newcastle next season, we swap divisions. See ya.